Hello, fringers. The following podcast may not be suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Look alive, fringers.
It's 2099 and we are live and loud in the underground. From the streets to the scar. Keep your chip hidden, your gun loaded, and never trade your soul for souls.
Turn it up and let them know.
Big Brother is watching. Time to put on a show.
Hello, Fringers. Howdy, Browns and McFlies. Welcome to episode 22 of Neon Trails, an Identico actual play. I am your game runner, the Caleb G. We switched it up again. Welcome back to Thursday. Thanks for tuning in as we zoom ever closer to our season finale. At the time of recording, June is almost done. The heat of summer is upon us. Speaking of heat, the Acolyte is great, and the Jedi have always been a force cult with questionable morals and tactics. Anyway, it's gross out there, and it's going to get grosser, so plan accordingly. Please take care of yourself, drink enough water, take care of your family, your animals, stay cool. But before our finale heats up, we are going to say hello to our cast, who can't get a tab unless they order something. First up, you know that new sound you're looking for? Well, listen to Mallo playing Galen.
Something, dark side.
Next up, please excuse the crudity of this model. She did not have time to build it to scale or paint it. It is Wild playing B.
It might be crude, but I promise it will also be lewd. Thank you.
Best you can hope for. And you better not hook up to the amplifier. There is a slight possibility of overload. It is Pete playing Dog.
Hydrate, motherfuckers. Summertime sounds.
We're just bringing our A game tonight. Love it. Something for everybody. No matter what you like to listen to, it's here. She is just trying to keep you respectable. It is Lauren playing Drall.
Don't you spill that in my DeLorean. Don't you do it.
Gotta be careful. And 1.21 gigawatts. It is Ethan playing Mock.
What? Oh, I'm so sorry. I am way too distracted looking at all the awesome weapons that are going. Oh, the munchkin has taken over for tonight.
Some shit started in the pre-show, and it's now, yeah.
Already off the rails.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Well, let's go over some usual housekeeping so Ethan can keep buying more and more stuff. Identico is live every other Tuesday and sometimes Thursday on twitch.tv/Identico with episodes of Neon Trails at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. You can see episode archives, how to play videos, and clips over at youtube.com/Identico. Please subscribe, like, and leave us some comments so we have someone to talk to. Follow us on the socials for announcements and news. Look for us at Identico and Humanoid Games or on whatever social media platform you are using. Please visit playidentico.com where you can visit us and see everything we're doing. There's basic core rules, there's books, there's things to buy. There's a new module, The Dark and the Divine. There's all kinds of good stuff. If you're with us on Twitch right now, hello. Thank you. We love you. And if you have channel points, I know these folks have a lot of rerolls racked up. I think we're gonna need them coming up in the next few episodes. Mallo, is there anything else you would like to share before we start?
Nothing else tonight.
Alrighty. Let's jump in the Wayback Machine and see what happened last time on Neon Trails. Galen called Mercury, who was building a new facility to care for the cyber zombie victims from the Black Site prison. They discussed the situation in solace, and Mercury shared that his team thought that the cyber cult was moving towards a central location, not attacking outsiders. Galen said they'll make a plan. Mercury repeated his offer of gear and support. The crew theorized what might have been the cause of all of these events. Dog explained the mystery of quantum technology via the Schlongdinger's cat experiment. Paperboy joined in and said he had traced the cult member's body approaching Solace on a long path of skips from the area of the Black Site, somewhere between the Santa Fe Plex and the Republic of Texas border. Mercury sent a text saying, in extreme cases, an explosion of a large enough quantum communication field could theoretically move a body. The crew made their plan to do recon on the cult's activities and made an extensive shopping list. For the items that were not easy to acquire in Solace, they sent their request to Mercury, who told them to come to the main dust jockey facility. After an awkward goodbye between Drall and Paperboy, the crew hit the road. There was a slight delay when their old nemesis Rev showed up with a scrap-together Rav and combat truck, but he was quickly dispatched and run over by Bill, who was on his way back to Solace. Arriving at the Deejay facility, Mox and B went off with several techs to work on their drones, while the dust jockey mechanics got to work on the Winnebago. Dog, Drall, and Galen went to dinner with Janice Turman and Rail Tenson. And that is where we left off. We are going to pick up the following night. It is approaching midnight. The cool darkness of the desert clashes with the aura of light and sound bleeding out from the Santa Fe Plex, even though it is far in the distance. In the deepening shadows cast from buttes and mesas, there is a wide, low hill covered with several cave entrances. The silence is broken by the roar of a truck coming down what is barely a road in the desert. Galen, what vantage point have you taken, and what are you doing right now?
Galen would be sniper position on a rock, overlooking, away from the Winnebago, but overlooking down on the encampment that we were trying to kind of stake out. With some binoculars, basically. He doesn't have a sniper rifle. That's Mox's thing. But he's got, he can shoot a pistol real far. So he's just kind of like up there, perched, on his belly and everything like that, just kind of like scouting it out and trying to see what he can see with this truck and stuff like that coming through.
As you are in this position observing, you think back to the previous day in the dust jockey facility. You remember how you stepped into the elevator with Janice and Rail, and they were just chit-chatting with you. It's a very strange kind of dichotomy in this moment of you just came from a friend dinner, which happened to be in the depths of a potentially very dangerous facility, and now you are on the road to figure out what is happening with this cult. Back at the dinner, Rail had said he was going to tell you a little bit about his findings and his guesses. So in that moment, the elevator ride was casual, small talk, chit chat. What's happening out there? What have y'all been up to? Kind of thing. Mostly driven by Janice. She's the very friendly one in this moment.
She's the one with the hots for dog, right?
Yes.
Got it.
And recall that when we first met Janice many episodes ago, we had that very strange moment where she seemed to be not quite there all the time, very much tapped into her multiple glows and quantum communication devices. She was seemingly always talking to other people or doing or controlling other things. There was even that time when Dog stumbled through a door when he was lost and found her almost conducting an orchestra of drones and machines, seemingly not knowing what is going on around her. But then when everyone was in the cantina, she came up and very different personality, very friendly, very happy, very social. And that is the personality she was in when y'all were at dinner. She's definitely not, she wasn't like hanging on Dog, but she was maybe rubbing shoulders, maybe just a little bit too close socially, but not too chummy. The elevator did not take you to the regular cantina. It took you to a very nice, almost like an executive dining room. Very nice tables. Some of the more fanciful looking engineered plants, very low lighting, very warm, very cozy. There were no like waiters or wait staff or anything. There was still like a serving station, like a buffet where you would get food, and there were sandwiches and soups and charcuterie snacks and some drink stations. And so Janice and Rail got some food, and y'all sat down. So this was Drall and Dog and Galen sitting down with the two of them. Janice was just keeping the small talk going, really asking questions to the group, but they were always directed at Dog. Like, what's everybody doing? But she's just looking at Dog for an answer. Or how have your jobs been? Tell us a little bit about what's going on there. We've been so busy. But always body language, always kind of pointed at Dog, looking for that answer. And eventually Rail cut in, like, hey, let him eat. Let him eat. She's just gonna run her mouth nonstop. So everybody took a second to eat, and eventually he jumped back in, and he's talking to you here, Galen. So he was saying, okay, so I know the boss talked about some of the things I'd found. I think he probably sent you that video I took when I was down there in the caves.
Yeah.
So, and he pulls up his glow, and what you see displayed is like a fully 3D rendered map of the black site. So you see where you were up top. You see the levels of the staff floors, the armory, the medical facility, all those places you explored. You see the two lower levels. You see where the steps that took you down to that big medical facility where the zombies were. You see the lowest level where you did not go in the caves. And you also see a bunch of tunnels connecting all of these floors. So you immediately put together that this guy must have had some sort of drones or something, just completely scanning the entire facility to figure this out, because this is an incredibly detailed map. And he is saying to you, so yeah, this is the whole thing. This is where you were. This is where they were. It was wild down there, man. I tell you, I had a whole crew of the kids with me. I had a couple of our RAVs. I had our drones scanning everything. We still almost got murked a couple times with some of these, with some of the traps they had set. These nut jobs were just insane. Like, they would just rush us from corners and crevices. It's like they didn't care. They just had no sense of self, no self-preservation. They weren't like running at us holding grenades or anything, but they were real nasty customers. So I know we haven't, worked together before, but Mercury says you're cool kids. I believe whatever he says. I'm glad you didn't go down there because you probably would have died.
Glad to know that my instincts were correct, but
Janice is finishing her food and she's kind of leaning on her shoulder. She's like, yeah, I'm really glad you didn't go down there, dog. That just would have been real bad. I'm glad you're okay.
Me too.
Rail kind of rolls his eyes and redirects. So yeah, this was he points to something on the map there. He's like, this is where they seem to be congregating. End of the day, I don't know where it went, but I've been out here in the wasteland for a long time. I've explored, I've worked with different tribes, I've observed a lot of things. We know that they were collecting tech. They seem to really enjoy strapping a whole bunch of tech to themselves and connecting it all together and making it all work. But we also saw evidence that they were bringing it away, taking it away from this site. The things they were collecting were not just for immediate use, it was for something else. So that combined with the evidence I'm seeing of them referencing some big dangerous entity they're fixated on. It seems like there's some sort of wackadoo cult worshiping something. I don't know if they're building something. I don't know if they're gathering a sacrifice to it. I don't know. But wherever they are out there in the desert, they're doing something big.
What do you make of this whole worship thing? I mean, y'all have been around for a while. What do you make of it?
I mean, end of the day, all that shit is just stories we tell ourselves, right? So either someone is telling the story to them or they're telling the story to themselves. I don't know if there's someone that's pulling the strings. It seemed like they were all just kind of running around being crazy on their own. It didn't feel like there was organization. It didn't feel like there was someone even vaguely, loosely giving them instructions or marching orders. I don't have a lot to draw that conclusion on, just gut instinct. A lot of times out here, you're a man of the world. You've been out a while. You know that some people get it in their heads that they're much more important than they really are, and they start attracting followers and giving orders and doing weird things. It might be a situation like that, but it seems a little less likely than this group just being out of their minds and doing weird things.
I mean, back in the early 2000s, when AI started hallucinating and shit like that, the first AI they hooked up to the internet became a racist-ass motherfucker in about 2.3 seconds. So, there is that, too. Could just be corrupted or like a psychosis kind of thing, maybe.
Absolutely. So you probably know a little bit about what was going on in the facility with that other group that y'all found. They were clearly being tortured and pushed and just taken advantage of. They were absolutely victimized in every possible way. It's possible that these cult members that we're seeing now and dealing with now are like the strongest offshoots, the ones who survived, and they took that psychosis and ran with it. It's equally possible that, they were a separate set of experiments I don't know. I haven't seen any of those files. I haven't done any of the research. That wasn't my job. I mean, I'm not trying to make an excuse or anything. It just wasn't my focus when Mercury sent me out there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm only speculating. It's okay. I'm only speculating right now.
Yeah, it really could be either.
Okay.
But, like I said, evidence kind of is suggesting that they were moving from this site to another site, taking that gear and scrap and salvage with them. So if you know where they're going or you suspect where they're going, just be careful. I'll give you my files, I'll give you the maps I had, I'll give you the scans we took, but I don't know if that's going to prepare you for what's out there.
I mean, there's nothing that a bunch of fire and bullets can't fix, I imagine.
Most of the time, yeah.
I mean, you'll find that this crew likes that kind of thing. At least when it's under... Actually, I take that back. I was going to say when it's under adult supervision, but ain't nobody in this goddamn place an adult, so... Yeah, my team just kind of likes that.
Well...
It make it go explode.
He laughs and sits back and takes a drink of whatever he was drinking. Yeah, I get it. But we'll do what we can for you.
Well, I appreciate that. I know my team will as well. And he kind of looks around the table of everybody that's kind of there just to make sure he's not speaking out of turn. He's the only one that's kind of buddy-buddy with the DJs at the moment. Everybody else is just either a little creeped out or getting hit on all the time, weirdly. So...
So... Galen, your thoughts are on that conversation as you are watching what is happening in the desert in front of you. You see that a large box truck, not a semi, but not a pickup truck, like one of those big oversized U-Haul kind of trucks, is being driven very slowly down through the dust and sand. Headlights are on. It's still very dark out, and you've been a driver for a long time. You can tell that this is a smart driver who knows where he's going, but is being very cautious. And eventually, the truck stops, and the driver gets out, and you see them kind of get out and look around a little bit, look up at the cave, the wall with the multiple cave openings, and looks down. It looks to you like he's down looking at his glow and kind of checking and shrugs. He's like, hello? Got the stuff. And there's just a very, very long pause, like an uncomfortably long pause. And this guy is just lost. Like he's just not sure what to do. And then you hear a few rocks falling, a few loose rocks as someone is shuffling out of one of the caves. And they're carrying a flashlight to illuminate the way, so there's a little pool of light at their feet. And they're maybe 100 yards away from the truck driver. And this figure raises their hand and they wave, and you hear a voice, sounds kind of scratchy, croak out, "Yes, hello. Thank you for the delivery, please. Start unloading and we'll pay you the other half as agreed upon." And the guy at the truck is like, I got a lot of shit in that truck. You got anybody to help me? That thing is loaded.
This man might not like the help that comes out.
And they kind of argue back and forth a little bit. But eventually the figure retreats back into the cave a little bit and the truck driver, with a very angry stride, goes to the back of the truck, throws open the door, and starts unloading pallets of... You can't really tell what it is from here. It's boxed up, it's covered in tarps. You're not 100% sure. As this is happening, Galen, you and the crew had made a plan for this observation. Where is the rest of the crew stationed? Galen has a vantage point. Where's everybody else?
I would imagine that Drall, being unfamiliar with this particular group, and letting Galen kind of take the lead there, would stick very closely to him. Hoodie up, arms crossed, shadow energy.
Galen, is the Winnebago parked nearby? Did you leave it parked a little further away for a stealthy approach?
It's a little bit further away because,
Okay.
you know, if these guys are cybered out as much as they say they are, as much as we've seen so far and stuff like that, they've got a watcher or anything like they can enhance, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want to try not to give them anything to see.
Okay. So the Winnebago's parked a little bit away. You and Drall are up here on this ridge. Is this Team A and our other folks are Team B somewhere else? Where is everybody else doing?
Just a quick clarification question. Because in order to answer that question, I need one piece of information. Have we gotten our goodies at this point? Okay.
Yes.
And, like, do I need to ask you about any of them? Okay. In that case, is there anyone who would like to be a... How far back does the B team want to set up? Because wherever Mox is with the B team, he currently has a Gauss sniper rifle that is capable of firing from 3.5 miles away. And so wherever the rest of you want to be, that's where he is.
B would happily take up Mox's rear with their weapons and also have Umbra be out.
Not yet, darling. Not there. Not there.
Listen, that's Dog's job. I'm just here to make sure that you can stay alive for Dog. Don't you worry, okay?
So if that's in the case, then I'm gonna say I'm gonna yes and you there, Mox, and say that you can see through my binoculars. So I can give you a targeting computer.
Yeah, I love it.
Fantastic. So in that case, if I and whomever B and whomever is with me set up on some elevated place where we can hit the targets that are painted.
And then the drones could go out and do a little bit of recon too. I think that'd be a good idea.
All right. Dog, are you with the B team as well?
Well, hold on. Now, you said 3.5 miles. How far? Because
we don't have to be 3.5 miles. That's a maximum.
Yeah.
Not minimum here.
Dog shouldn't be like a little kid in the outfield in baseball game just kicking dirt. Just bored as shit.
No, babe, I'm just saying that it could
Pulling out
be, and that's really fucking cool.
throwing
I'm
it
just
in the
saying,
air.
we don't have to be that far. No, but isn't this thing amazing?
Throwing dirt in the air. They can't even see. He's just making a scene so far away. God. Okay. How far away are you, though?
I'm not sure where a good vantage point would be and how far away it would be.
We're in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
There's lots of rock formations and outcroppings, and You could be anywhere you want. There's wherever you say you have set up, there is an appropriate place.
We want to be able to get to our friends if necessary. So just maybe like
No hike through Mordor to get to.
Yeah, maybe just like,
Just take the eagles.
1,500 feet away, a rock structure.
Okay.
Or a rock formation, back covered, just lying there.
Sure.
And just have this thing waiting and seeing through Galen's.
Okay. And the drones are currently with this group that's a little bit further back. Are they with Galen and Drall? Have they been sent ahead with some of their new toys?
I personally would send Umbra ahead because Umbra, again, was initially built for stealth and reconnaissance and has a mighty big bite and a shiny new flamethrower. So Mallo's dying over here.
I guess I'm going shopping now. I wasn't planning on it, but I'm just opened the damn book now. I'm going shopping too.
Okay, we got given keys to the Dragon Horde literally like as we hit go live, so I just want everybody to know.
I thought I said that last time, but I didn't make it clear enough in between episodes. I apologize.
It's kind of like Dad saying, "You can have anything you want." Like, okay, Dad, you're not gonna buy me a little raptor or a little gator, like.
And then we're at the raptor.
No,
gator
actually
store.
anything.
I'm sitting there, hands in my sweater pockets. What you want,
5
champ?
ponies, 3 gators, some rocket launchers, a flamethrower.
Daddy works for Enron, got a big Christmas bonus. Yeah.
Thank you, Dad.
I wish.
B would send Umbra up ahead with full communication as has happened before, and be chilling back there, relaying information to Drall and Galen as well.
So, since we're mentioning the drones here, why don't we also have a little wavy camera flashback? Back in the Deejay facility, Mox and B went off with a couple mechanics, technicians, and their drones. The 2 techs had kind of wheeled a big cart in with all the new additions you had requested, and then they ushered you off to a little workshop. They took you into a workshop, not a sterile facility, but one you're very well familiar with, just fancier tools, walls and walls of tools and parts and bits and pieces. And there were 2 tables, like 2 doctors' operating tables, and the techs pushed the cart into the middle of the room and started unloading boxes and packages and little bubble packs of stuff and pulling wires and cables down and getting their tools together. And then they kind of looked back at both of you like, "Are we gonna start?"
Mox, is this actually happening? Can you pinch me?
I mean, look, I've been. They actually had access to artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of I have a question. What kind of voice do you think Argo should have? Like, do you think, what kind? Looking at him.
I mean, Argos feels like either he'd have, like one of them big, raspy, tough man voices.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, drop it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Or
maybe go for the complete opposite.
Yeah, and he could also have a voice that sounds like yours, and then that would be really cute because
no, one of this is bad enough.
Why? I think it's great. You'd have whole conversations with yourself instead of having full conversations with yourself. You know what I mean?
Look, I've been told I have a voice for photography, so I don't think we need 2 of them. But maybe, Yeah, I like the tough guy idea. Oh, have you ever seen any of those movies, Cheech and Chong? What if he founded a Tommy Chong in there? Hey, man. I mean, how?
What if you did that, but sped it up a little bit so it was just a little bit higher and it didn't have as much of a lag time? Because Argos is going to have to give us some information at some point if you're doing the AI stuff.
No, that's a fair concern. That's absolutely great feedback. Great feedback. Now, what are you thinking for Umbra? What are you doing?
Well, I saw part of your list and I kind of stole some ideas, but I already had some of the active camo on there. So I think I'm going to do like stronger servos for an even stronger hippo bite and a faster run, and also a flamethrower. I didn't think.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, inside the mouth. So like whenever we get hungry too, we can like have s'mores whenever we want.
That's why you're doing that? That was the inspiration for the flamethrower with s'mores?
Well, originally, yeah, but then I was thinking about it, and then also like Umbra could heat up their teeth and bite with like red hot molten steel. It's really cool. I think it's going to be a cool concept. But yeah.
Hot
What do you
pockets.
think?
I'm thinking with Argos, maybe they have a microwave gun, so maybe could be useful against their robot or their tech.
Did you get EMP shielding too for Argos? I feel like
Shit, that's a good idea. Of course. No, that makes me stupid. I'm sorry. Look, there's been a lot. Thank you. I'm going to add that to the list.
We have to take care of our babies, and like, I don't know. I feel like your microwave gun could also help us make food too.
Yeah, we can get to that part later. Yeah.
Do you think they'll give me a tank railgun if I ask to mount one on Umbra's back?
I mean, so far there hasn't been a no, so
Or
might as well ask.
in Umbra's feet?
Now we might be taking it like one step beyond the pale. Reel it in a little bit. Gotta have some, like, what's the unifying vision for Umbra right now?
Strong, sneaky,
Yep.
fast, good at like reconnaissance, but also able to take things down. Like you remember ever seeing those Russian bear dogs?
No.
Okay, well they were bred and they were huge and they were bred to go and fight grizzly bears, but they also
like
were really good at herding. So I want something that could like take down our proverbial grizzly bears, but also maybe not get spotted by them. So maybe more like a polar bear. Did you ever see the polar bears?
No. I mean, like in pictures? Yeah. How old do you think I am? You think that I was alive when the polar bears went extinct?
No, I just assumed that everybody else had unfettered access to old vids and like.
No, of course I've seen the videos.
Oh, that's what I was asking.
Oh yeah, I mean those, but polar bears are skinny little things.
That's only because they were starving. Like me, I am also kind of hungry. But
The two technicians have been sitting there just patiently this whole time, looking at each other, looking at you, looking at their watch.
hey, you guys.
Huh?
You guys, so
What?
you see the kits that we have for these drones. Do you think we should put anything else? Especially, you guys know what you have back there. Should we add anything to our shopping list?
I mean, if there's something you want, tell us. We'll
What
go
is
get it.
that thing though? Like, do you have something that you just like found really satisfying to put on the drone?
My most satisfying thing is just doing the work. I really just want to get to work.
Well then here. Pushes his request list across, which is ridiculous.
B scribbles a few more things at the bottom of theirs and like looks up and is like, hold on, let me see Mox's one more time. and sees it and scribbles down a couple more things.
Did you make any like paint or color requests or any like aesthetic things? I've only been thinking about function. I haven't. Argos. Oh, I can't even ask him yet. Damn it.
I figured we could paint it later. Let's let the text do their thing, and also active camo. So like you could just like have Argos stand in front of a wall that you like that is colorful, and it would still be the same thing. So
I like it. I like it.
Guys, do you have any of those nanobots that were on that ROV that we met in the beginning? Because I'd love to put some of those on Umbra. That would be really cool.
They very slowly shake their heads at you.
I was told they would be possible.
We found the line.
How about we just start with what's on the list here?
Okay, you should start with Argos first. Let me get a couple more things on here real quick. Script. Okay, all right. You can go ahead. Thank you, guys. Did you want anything to drink or eat? Because I'm hungry. I don't know if I said that before.
We'll just get to work. Thanks.
Okay. Well, you guys are awesome. Can we watch?
If you want.
Awesome. Do you have snacks?
No.
Oh. Well, that's a bummer.
So Argos jumps up on one table and Umbra on the other. And it's a little bit disconcerting to see your drones like almost autopsy style taken apart for all of this, because with the extent of what you are doing, this isn't just plugging in new modules and pieces. This is almost rebuilding them from scratch. So these two techs are undoing chassis, taking limbs off, rewiring certain parts, unplugging chunks and plugging in new chunks. Both of you have built your drones more or less from scratch. So there are quite a few times where you can see the techs almost puzzling over some of your wiring choices and some of the scrapped together pieces that you have used. They don't say anything critically, but you can see in their body language, they're like, oh, this is just amateur hour. Okay. And they'll go over and like take down a newer servo or a new internal module for something and just kind of maybe give you a little bit of that side-eye glance as they're like putting it in, not even saying anything about it, but just like, you know, screwing it in. So
I made this in a cave.
B doesn't notice any of the shade because B is like this fucking far away from everything. Like, oh, that's how you do. That's so cool. Where'd you get those? Did you scav those or did you make those? Hey, can you give me the blueprints for that?
I think maybe the first few times they actually responded to you and tried to answer your questions, but then that kind of opened the floodgates of more. So eventually they just started like giving you kind of one word monosyllable. Oh, yep. Mm-hmm. Right. No. Yeah. Well, maybe like to try to just hope you get the picture, the idea that they're too busy, but I don't think B gets that picture.
He doesn't get that and starts like tapping them on the shoulder gently while they're working on stuff like, hey, guys.
I think maybe one of them eventually responds to that, but in a you can't do that while we're working kind of way, and not a I want to talk to you kind of way. But of course, all of that eventually got resolved, and brand new version 2.0 Argos and Umbra jumped off the tables. And here we are now out in the deserts. The truck driver is laboring over this unload job. You can see him struggling. And it takes a long time. It is probably an hour that this person is getting this truck unloaded. But eventually they're finished, and they shout back up towards the cave, "Hey, I'm done. Everything's out." And that same figure shuffles back out of the cave, waves their hand. We've initiated the transfer. You can check. The driver pulls out their glow. "All right, well, best of luck. Bye," kind of sarcastically, and pulls the truck out of the the little desert floor that they are parked on, and drives away into the night. So what's down on the desert floor right now is just a huge pile of pallets and boxes. Everything's covered. Can't really see what it is. But then as soon as the driver and the truck has kind of pulled out over the horizon and they're clearly gone, maybe a dozen figures swarm out of these caves and approach this pile. And they start just ripping apart the boxes, shredding the tarps. They are almost frantic to get this unloaded and uncovered. And you can see through your binoculars and the technologies within them that's kind of cutting through the darkness of the night. You can see that these are the cybered out, teched out, overloaded cult members that you've been dealing with. And as they are shredding these boxes and ripping the tarps apart, you can see that what they're uncovering, and almost joyfully, gleefully, celebratorily grabbing and holding and filling their arms with, it's just bits and pieces of tech. This is almost like cybernetic waste material, like someone raided a dumpster. This is just a mismatch of parts and pieces, chunks of limbs and cyber body parts, fragments of different circuit boards, scraps of wire. Like, you can see something that was clearly ripped out of a wall. Like, there's bits and pieces of drywall still, and there's a circuit board sticking out of it. There's wires trailing. There's light fixtures. Like, it's not like someone went to the store and bought boxes of stuff off the shelf for this delivery. It's garbage. It's junk. It's scrap. And these figures are gleefully filling their arms and rushing back into the caves. You notice that they're not all going into the same cave. They're going into several different cave openings. What would you like to do?
Destroy the cave.
What if we took out all but one of the cave openings? Blocked them off somehow. I know that's not stealthy by any means, but it's just an idea.
So let me get this straight. We just gonna start blasting.
Anyway.
Well,
Blast.
anyways, I just started. Yeah, no. I am happy to send Umbra into the cave system because I know that Umbra can help map the cave system and stay safe. However, when we do have to have a showdown with these guys, however it goes, we could definitely bottleneck them through one opening in the caves and then just take them out. Just saying. That's all I got.
So, quick lore question, because I don't remember the answer to this, but like, none of Mercury's people actually engaged these cyber dudes, right? They never
Correct.
actually got into a fight with them.
Correct. Well, let me take that back. Yes, for the most part. There were some skirmishes in the caves underneath the Black Site facility.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that Rail would have told you at dinner. And he told you, he provided you all of his notes, so he would have also given you like a field report that he would have sent to Mercury. So it wasn't like open warfare. It was more like a couple of them attacked while they were retreating.
Okay, but it was specifically these cyber cultists and not the other ones that were in the walls. Because there were two factions there, it felt like.
Yes. So
okay.
The ones that were in the walls are this cyber cult.
Okay.
The zombies were contained within the hospital torture area that you observed and retreated from.
Okay.
That group has been extracted and is being cared for by the dust jockeys.
Because it was at that moment that Galen was like, wait a minute. Are these like just Jawas? Are they peaceful? Like, is one of them gonna go teeny when we shoot at them? Or are we like, are we about to murder some like small fuzzy furry people? Or are they like actually hostile? Because
these are the hostile cult members.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Just, slight, just before anybody gets the idea that Galen's just a heartless bastard that, shoots things. For a second, he had to try to remember that part.
There's been a lot going on. That's okay. You gotta get your story straight.
Yeah.
Hey, question. Galen, did you put any enhancements on the Windy Bagel?
Well, I mean, we put the machine guns and things like that on it.
Okay, I was just checking.
We got a little armor in there. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We got ways to fight off if we need to.
Fantastic.
And you just hear in your ear through the communication system we have set up.
And finally, a decent fucking sound system.
What? You broke up there a minute.
Did you put a turntable in there?
No, the desert's too bumpy. It would just fuck up the records.
Turntables and a microphone.
Yeah. Well, I had a microphone, so we just added the turntables. Although you would think in 2099 we'd come up with a way to do a turntable without it scratching up, but
I was gonna say, if we have plasma tech, I feel like there's probably a way to stabilize the vinyl.
In the city, probably. Out here in the wasteland, probably not. Probably old school tech.
Anti-skip technology.
That was on my wish list.
Can it be on the roof so like you're charging into battle with someone on the tables?
Oh, we could go full Mad Max if you want to. We could put the goddamn flamethrower coming out the back. Like
the DJ lethal version.
Right. Galen's got a guitar. Like, we can just sit up there and fucking, go full on. So I kind of look over at Drall at that point when everybody's making the idea of, like, we should just, blow up the caves. And I look at her, and I look at what's sitting between us, and then I look back at her, and I look at what's sitting between us, and I go...
Slowly reaches.
Yeah? Alright. And then he just puts the binoculars, like, he zooms all the way in to see what he can see while while Drall gets ready.
All right, so zooming all the way in, you get a much more up close and personal view of these cult members. And you only saw them briefly while you were in the Black Site facility. You saw a deceased one in Solace, and that was disturbing. Very unnatural amount of cyber technology, no aesthetic, no form, very unnatural to our human perception looking for that symmetry in the bipedal form. Seeing these figures up and moving and functional is just off-putting. It's upsetting. Like, the way they move, the way they walk, it is not human. They're not like moving herky-jerky, like old school bad 60s, 70s robots, but it's like, you know how you feel when you watch a bug skitter around that you weren't expecting, and it's just like, oh, you shouldn't, oh, you're moving too fast, or you're moving at strange angles. It's like that, but with people who are at least a foot taller and broader than you, because these people are like decked out big. So it's tough. It's very upsetting and disturbing to watch these things move all zoomed in. But they are unloading this pile and moving towards, in general, 3 different cave openings. And there's maybe a dozen scattered across this hillside. The one that the figure walked out of that had interacted with this truck driver was one of, like, on an upper level almost, a little bit higher up on the hill. But the 3 that this group of about a dozen figures are moving in and out of are more or less on ground level. Like, maybe there's a little bit of an incline up to one of them, but it's on the ground.
Galen just kind of looks at Drall and is like, well, by all means, ladies first.
Yeah. Like, just as you got into by all.
For our listeners, what exactly is happening? Can you tell us, please?
I'm gonna go ahead and shoot the rocket launcher into one of the cave mouths, if that's okay, and hopefully form a chain reaction and explode it from the inside out.
Okay.
If that's okay.
I love it.
Ooh woo, ooh woo.
It's just the visual of like a 5 foot, person sitting there lifting a giant like RPG canister onto her shoulder.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot here, Lauren, but could you describe what Drall looks like shooting this? If that's all right.
So
I just want to hear this.
It's just like casually sitting on the ground there, ignoring all measures of safety between Drall and Galen. And as Galen is surveying the area and just looking into everything, checking the glow, checking back on everything. Drall is just kind of there. She's got her hood up and her braid is sticking out the bottom, and she's got her hands in her pockets, and she's kind of just squatting there waiting. And as he's just dialing it in, she just edges ever so closely, even more closely, to the rocket launcher until slap, the sound of her hand hits it. Slap, slap, slap. Yeah. I think we should go the loud route, Galen. Considers the loud route, considers the quiet route. Yeah. Slap, slap. The loud route. So then as she's squatting there, she rolls this thing onto her extended knee, onto her thigh, and then tries to hoist it into position. She's kind of like laying there with it partially on her body. Just trying not to get blown away herself. She's excited. She's never shot a rocket launcher before. And this is thrilling.
All right.
Very feral gremlin energy over this rocket launcher. It's like a dog who hasn't eaten for a week and you just throw a steak right there, you know?
All right. So why don't you go ahead and give me an attack roll?
So where is the... Hold on. I need to know what I'm supposed to roll here for this.
So if you are proficient with these weapons, it'll just be...
Well, if you're not proficient, you don't get a bonus, so it's just straight up D20.
16.
Plus your agility.
Got him.
So-
We are going for that good old 3.
Oh, very nice.
19 total?
Damn. Yeah,
All right.
She's been I feel like Drall puts it. Yeah, I feel like Drall puts it on her shoulder. She's like, "This is my moment."
All right. So the rocket streaks off, and you are targeting one of the cave openings that the figures have been moving in and out of.
Oh yeah, the one that's
Okay.
got the most foot traffic is the one I'm going for.
Okay, so that's the one on the right. That's where the most people have been moving in and out of. Why don't you go ahead and roll some damage for me?
2d8 times 10.
Yep.
I think that's correct.
No, it's right.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Big dice, no whammy.
9, but I did max on one of them. 90 damage.
90 damage to this cave. All right.
Fuck you, cave!
How dare you, cave? All right, so
Being a cave.
there was this moment of silence between when the rocket launched. Everyone almost held their breath, waiting to see what would happen. And then the sound of the impact just rips into your ears. Not only do we have the explosion of the rocket, we have the impact on the rock wall. We have the crumbling of rocks falling and tumbling and crushing into each other. A large impact shockwave ripples out across the desert, blowing up sand, obscuring your vision. Through this dust cloud, you hear what sounds like the continuation of damage occurring, like the rocks are continuing to fall, but you can't very clearly see it. Galen, do your binoculars have any other type of imaging that might be able to cut through some of this obscured vision, or do you just need to wait it out?
I mean, it's got night vision, and
Okay.
it would probably have thermal, because those two can be put into a, like, they're big honking, like the kind you see on like Star Wars kind of thing.
Right.
Big boys.
All right, so you click over to the thermal, because with this dust cloud you really can't see anything. Even but the night vision is obscured a little bit. You click over to the thermal, you see a mess of bodies in the impact, the immediate impact of the rocket. And then you see maybe 3 or 4 others kind of moving about. It almost seems like they're bumping into each other, they're colliding with each other, moving very chaotically. You see one of them fall down, and you kind of thrash around trying to get up again. You scan across, trying to figure out what's happening here. You see a couple others retreating back into the other cave openings that they had been using. For the immediate moment, no offensive action is taken against you. So as you sit there kind of waiting to see, no one immediately retaliates. It's kind of just the resolution of this impact and this rock fall. What do we want to do next? It's a relatively calm night. There's not a lot of wind to clear the air. So it takes a little bit for this dust to settle. So you'll be waiting for a few minutes before you can get a clear vision of what's happened.
So do I fire it again? A lot? Or do we wait and watch them scatter? Pick them off one by one? What? I don't usually do the people really, I'm usually behind the desk.
Well, you only got one of the caves, so if you want to get another cave, you can shoot in the general direction.
You shoot off another one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, give me another attack roll. Why not? Why not?
Mox did say it was the reusable rocket launcher, so.
18. These little rubbery ones are doing really well.
All right, give me another damage roll.
Holy shit. 80 damage.
Okay. So a similar thing happens from before. You hear this rocket streaking off. This time you can kind of see it cut through the dust in the air, like something cutting through water almost. You see a larger impact this time because the rock wall is already starting to degrade and collapse. So this time the impact is furthering what is already happening. Not only do you hear this large explosion booming out across the desert, but you also hear more and more of these rocks crumbling and colliding into each other. Galen, looking through your binoculars with the heat vision, the infrared, again, you can see more bodies kind of scrambling very chaotically. There is so much dust and debris and rock matter, though, it's hard to really figure out what they're doing. Yes?
Can I say at this point, the camera just really quickly cuts to where Mox has been laying with this Gauss rifle and with B nearby, just kind of looks up after the second blast.
So I guess that's a no for stealth?
It works. We got a lot of explosives, you and I. We do a lot of damage.
I'm not upset about it. I'm just confirming that we're no longer trying to be stealthy and I can just start shooting.
I think so. I think so. If Drall's still shooting them off. What do you think, dog? Would you, I don't know.
Do you think my rifle shots might be too loud after the 2 or 3 rockets?
I don't
might
know.
give us away?
Listen, this is the first time I've ever done something like this. I don't know what's happening. I thought we were going to be stealthy. We had a plan.
You are doing great. So, are we stealthing or are we doing this? Dog,
I think that worked for us because it looks like that cave just caved in on its own, and that kind of helps us out. I can't see shit. I should have got some fucking binoculars back there. God,
I was about to say.
Oh, and it's so oh. What? Okay. Who shot a rocket? What?
give you 2 guesses, and the first one doesn't
Am I
count.
back here on this team? All I got is a shotgun and grenades. Why did I take a shotgun and grenades? Why did I come back here? I love you too much.
Does this
Mox is going to pull out 2 sticks of dynamite.
With this, do you want some of this?
I
got
already
10.
got some of that. I got a duffel bag of it.
Is out of curiosity, is that how much you asked for? One
yeah.
duffel bag?
It's a duffel bag of various grenades and dynamite.
The mystery bag, if you will.
It's his own version of the bag of holding. He doesn't know what he's pulling out. He just pulls out something.
Just standing back here like an asshole with a duffel bag of throwable weapons 1,500 feet away from the zone we're supposed to be attacking. I didn't think about this. And then I got some automatic pistols in here too, but they're pistols. I don't know. I'll shoot 10% of the way there.
Do you want to? Here, come.
And Mox scoots over from where he was laying with the rifle still set up on its stay.
Go ahead.
Hey, have you seen that movie Ghost?
I mean, I've seen parts of it.
Show me how to aim this thing.
And Mox, entirely missing the signal, is just like,
Oh, no, babe, you're doing it all wrong. Fuck's sake.
look,
Yeah, show me.
No, you gotta, first of all, don't close the other eye. No.
Are my hips right?
What the fuck? Your hips are fine. We're not worrying about your hips.
Okay. Are you sure?
Oh, you're trying. Oh. I'll get it. No, I'm sorry. That's not where my head was right now.
yeah.
I mean, now it is. We should probably, they're
okay.
firing off rocket launchers. We can't be
Right.
worried about our
So
rockets
it didn't
right now.
explode. It didn't cave in by itself. Okay, she shot a rocket. Okay.
2, I think.
Well, fuck. Well, what are we gonna do?
I'm gonna stop fucking shooting.
and just like rolls back to the rifle and starts trying to see with the looking through Galen's any source if possible, trying to get any targets.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. With the connection between your rifle and his binoculars, you can see with the infrared vision 6, 7 warm bodies still running around. You can see some remains within what is probably the cave-in collapse at this point. But the other ones are still trying to, right themselves, figure out what's happening. The shockwaves, the surprise, they are completely out of sorts right now. So yeah, if you want to start taking shots, start taking shots.
Well, I know that before I said that, the other Group A was in the middle of something, so if they want to resume their rocket spree before I start taking my pot shots.
By all means, we could.
Well, then I'm going to take some pot shots with a
All right.
fucking Gauss rifle.
Yeah, start rolling some attacks.
Well, first one's going to miss, I assume. That is 8.
Do you want to make this a called shot to a head as you are trying to decipher what is on the infrared, or are you just taking shots at anything warm that you see?
Ooh, I don't like. I might need more.
I mean,
No wrong answer. I'm just trying to...
No. Not trying to go for it. This thing doesn't probably need the head shot.
Center mass.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Okay.
I do also have the sniper shot talent.
Okay.
So, if I were doing... No, I believe I only get 1 shot with this one, I think. Yeah, only 1 per round, called or otherwise.
And you have a +1 per character level bonus.
Yep, but so the total ended up being an 8.
Okay. So, did you take any practice shots with this prior to this moment?
I mean, I would think as if there were any time, Mox, and not just not for any metagame reason. If he got access to this type of toy, yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we can say again. We'll flashback a moment here. After you had finished with the techs and the drones, maybe you went back to the Winnebago, and a couple other dust jockeys were they were finishing up with the Winnebago, and they were rolling in a big old cart of weapons and ammunition and just unloading and stacking things up on a little rack and a shelf. So you could have seen this and asked to go to a firing range. So they would have escorted you like deeper into the facility. You would have gone down a few levels. So you're familiar with the impact, what it takes to shoot a rifle this big, what it feels like. It's still a little unnerving. It's still surprising. Something this big.
Can I say for flavor that part of the mount here involves like the support base drilling into the rock so that there's to help take some of the immense kickback of it?
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. That's cool.
And with the sniper shot, it was actually a 14, not an 8, because of the extra plus that I get.
Yeah. So you are all set up, even with the recoil mount. It is a huge impact to your body, and through the scope, Galen, I think you maybe didn't expect this one, so suddenly one of the bodies that you were looking at in the thermal just rockets back and slams into the rock wall and drops, and you hear that like subsonic thum as the shot rocks out, and then like the sound wave hits you a second later. And
for the record, that was 28 damage.
Yeah, so whoever you hit doesn't get back up.
In front of the binoculars, you just see.
I also think even from where you all are, you hear it over your headset, but it is the desert. You might hear it since he's high up, as you just hear Mox, "Holy fucking shit!" I love this thing.
All right, so are you going to continue to pick off some of these bodies?
I'm sorry, you just asked Drall and Mox if they want to continue having fun.
I mean, yes. I'm going to, after that, just be like, knowing that this thing can essentially obliterate anything at a moment's notice, like,
yeah. So do we want to try any alternative form of action? Gathering information, checking out the bodies, waiting for the dust to settle, or should I just keep shooting?
I got an idea. How far away is the closest cave entrance?
Well, y'all are about 1,500 feet away. Yeah. And so, 1,500 feet.
What was that in miles? Half a mile? Quarter mile?
Between a quarter and a third.
And are we up on a ridge?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Dog said I got an idea, and then now I have to out of game ask Caleb, like, what's it like to hike there? If I wanted to walk along the ridge and get over on top of that cave entrance.
It's 100% possible. It would just be a walk. It's dark, but it's not pitch black. You're used to walking in the desert. The area you're walking towards is very disrupted and hard to see. So if you were like trying to walk to the caves, you would probably want to walk a little bit of a circle around it.
Argos could go with you, and then could help light up stuff.
Could take both the drones. Got sonar for the cave mapping.
He likes you better lately anyway.
All right, let me. Here, I'll tell you all my plan. What I thought. You tell me if it's bad. I'm about to walk on over there. There's 3 cave entrances. One of them's caved in, right? Is that correct?
Really, both of them. 2 of them are.
Both of them. Okay, never mind. Fuck my plan. I was just kidding. I ain't got no plan. Keep shooting.
Well, there were 3 cave entrances, and all 3 of them are destroyed at this point?
There were 3 that were being used. 2 of them are definitely destroyed.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
There are maybe a dozen or so total cave entrances. So 2 of them have been picked apart right now.
Did you say a dozen or so?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but only 3 were being used before the shooting started.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, yeah, you know what? I'll go with my plan. I'm gonna walk over to one of those cave entrances that haven't been closed up. And if you want to send your drone and Argos with me, that'd be great. I'm gonna pull the old watermelon off the overpass. Y'all played that game?
I love it.
Okay.
You should probably let all of the teams know that you're walking over to the entrances that they're shooting at with rocket launchers.
Hey!
No, we have
Walk over
got.
there.
God damn it.
Draw, you got one more shot, and then I'm going with dog.
Why is everybody mad? It's the desert.
No.
There's lots of there.
Is that dog? Is that dog right there?
Yeah, shoot for the other one just in case.
Are you sure?
You got one
Okay.
shot. He's a little bit of a hike. He's got one more shot. You can get it done.
You see?
Okay, now.
Yeah, now.
You see?
Okay.
All right, give me another attack roll.
Meanwhile, you see Dog up there on the ridge, take a cigarette out and just.
Ooh.
13? Yeah.
All right, so the rocket still connects, but it connects with a different cave than you were intending. It went a little bit wide, but you can still roll damage.
$120.
So I think the shot maybe went a little bit wide to one of the other cave openings above the one you were trying to hit, but it absolutely hit like a fault line in that cave, and again, impact wave spilling out across the desert, stirring up broken rock and dust and dirt and sand. And this time, the collapse of the cave does spill down over several of the lower cave openings.
Uh-oh. And she just kind of puts it down. And kind of just kicks the dirt at her feet and puts her hands in her hoodie. So
You did good.
what do you do when you hit stuff you don't want to hit, but you still kind of like it? Am I going to be okay?
Yeah, you're gonna be fine. We should probably get down there closer, though. If Dog is gonna try to do this thing, we should probably go down there, I think.
Okay.
Or you can go back with
You
them,
wanna just-
and I'll go. Either way.
Oh, I don't want to be myself with this. We should go.
Okay.
All right, so the two of you are scrambling down from the ridge you were on towards the desert floor by these cave openings that are now all collapsed and shot apart.
Yes.
Dog, you are kind of taking the wide route around with the drones to get to what would be like the top overhang of the hill you're looking at with all these cave openings.
Yeah, I like the idea of there being this action and all these scenes, and then occasionally we cut back to Dog like panting and walking, just and then back. Yeah.
Mox is staying where he is and continuing to pick off any bodies he sees moving through the dust and the debris.
No, not that casually making that statement now that Dog is moving through the dust and the debris.
Okay. And B, are you still staying with Mox back there as support?
Just acting like support for now.
Okay.
I mean, B
Do you want to?
plenty-
Do you want to shoot through the thing? It's really easy. It's pretty much point and click.
Well, it does sound like fun, but we have
It's got
people
it.
on the range right now.
Well, then shoot a rock over there or something.
Have you ever taken, like, gun safety? You're not supposed to shoot
Why?
rocks.
Guns aren't safe. What the fuck is gun safety?
Do you not? Okay. Listen, I have some videos for you to watch at some point, and B is going to pull out, like, this little wallet on a chain that's chained to their belt loop and be like, look, I'm certified as a gun safety person. It's one of the reasons why I don't use guns that often is because they're dangerous, and I'd rather just use a bow because I can strap explosives to them. But then I got this grenade launcher. I appreciate the offer, but maybe I'll shoot the Goss. I'll shoot it, when our people aren't down there. I feel like I would accidentally shoot somebody.
No, I respect it. No pressure. Just offering.
I appreciate it. I'll probably steal it while you're sleeping. Don't worry.
See, that tracks.
All right, so with all of this happening and making these decisions, Dog, you are probably getting to the top of this ridge maybe 5-10 minutes after all of this has started. Galen and Drall, you are kind of skidding down the ridge wall from your side, entering this debris field. The dust is settling a little bit, so it's still very hard to see, though. What is your intention as you are walking through here?
I got no fucking idea.
That's fine.
It seemed like a
blow it
good
up.
idea. We're gonna
Don't blow
blow
it up.
some shit up. Yeah, like
Okay.
like he unstraps him like his rifle, and kind of ready to point fire at this point because he doesn't know what's about to come out of the hole.
All right, so are you moving towards where the caves were? Are you moving towards the pile of tech that had been dropped off and is now kind of scattered?
If Dog is coming from one way, we would be kind of coming from the other flank instead of running directly at. Like, we're going to Tarkov this for a minute, and kind of do a little bit of a pie, kind of wide flank, so we don't get shot immediately, and see if we can't put something in between us and the rest of the caves and everything. So.
Okay, no problem. So, as the two of you are moving down, moving cautiously and carefully, both of you see out of the corner of your eye there is what you originally thought was a pile of rocks is actually one of these individuals, and they are kind of trying to stumble and lurch to their feet. Both of you catch this out of the corner of your eye before they fully stand and see you to become a threat, so you have a moment to react. What would you like to do?
Do we have the rock to hide behind? Or something
You could
that we
find a
can
hiding.
duck
Yeah, you could find something to duck behind, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll duck behind and kind of see what it does first. So we've got some...
Holds grenade.
Okay. Might be... Hang on to that.
So no?
For a minute.
So no?
Yeah, no. We're just going to shoot this one.
Okay, let's do the pistol on the left. Okay, got it.
All right, give me a stealth check first for both of you.
This is where it all goes wrong.
Oh, bother.
Oh, okay. Well, it didn't go as... yeah, it went wrong.
5.
Oh, no. 17 for me.
Oh, that's nice.
All right, so Galen, I think with that military police survivalist background, you immediately dive behind an outcropping here on the desert floor. This is probably not something that was there originally, but it's some of the debris that has fallen from the rock slide from the rocket launchers. So you just slide behind it, kind of take that very tactical, shoulder to the wall, gun at the ready kind of stance. Drall, I think you notice a second too late, and you see Galen move, and you're like, oh shit, and you run to follow him, but you're a little bit sluggish. The figure is rising to its feet. It is probably 6.5, 7 feet tall, very broad-shouldered. Its torso was once completely stacked with a variety of different tech and cyber and wires, and is now a smashed and shattered mess. It is moving about like it is very dizzy, like it's very disconcerted. It can't really grasp its surroundings very well. But Drall, as you were diving to follow Galen, that movement did catch its eye, and it is turning. It didn't necessarily see you, but it saw that movement, and it is turning in that direction.
Upon seeing that it is turning my direction, and I have fumbled this quite little advance, she is immediately going to freeze. Okay, if I don't move, it can't see me. Does it move?
It's kind of swaying between steps. Like it takes a step towards you, but it sways like it's almost gonna fall down. Like imagine someone who just spun on like a dizzy bat kind of thing for a few seconds. It's about to lose its footing, but then suddenly there's a bright light in your room. Everyone is blinded momentarily. It is not striding towards you like it saw you and it's zeroing in on you, but it is not ignoring you either.
Okay. Is it possible for me to utilize my quick draw and just pop this guy?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Let's do that.
Take a shot.
Ooh. Oh, actually, that's good. 17?
Oh, absolutely.
That's nice.
This guy's rolling very badly and is very penalized due to the rocket launcher situation.
10 damage.
Did you want to just do a shot to anywhere on him, or were you trying to aim?
I want to kill him.
Okay. So yeah, you connect very quickly. You see his head rock back. He stumbles backwards away from you, drops to one knee, but is still moving. So he's kind of like one knee, gasping, groaning, shaking his head. He's got one hand up to the wound. You can see blood pouring down his face. He is not dropped to the ground, but he is not like actively charging you right now. He's still trying to like shake his head and clear the situation to understand what's going on.
And as Drall pops up the shot and then sees this reaction, something in her just kind of shivers and makes her a little uncomfortable, and she her gun kind of unsteadies in her hand, and then she's gonna try to take another shot. Well, that's not fair. I'm supposed to get it in one. And she's gonna try to end this guy's suffering for sure.
Okay, take another shot.
S- 15?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So, Galen, you saw this happen from your point of vantage. This second shot connects, and this hulking giant drops backwards to the ground and doesn't move anymore.
Nice.
And she, without even thinking about the safety, she's got the gun in her hand, and she puts both hands over her head like this. Whoa! No way! Did you see the blood shoot out of his head? Oh, do you think it hurt him? Oh, I'm a dick!
Well, you know, it was them or us, and he looks back in the direction of Mox and goes, or Mox, one of the two. But yeah, just more of that with these guys.
Dog, you are coming up to the top of the ridge, and you hear these two gunshots ring out in rapid succession. From where you are standing right now, it's not difficult to see what's going on, but it's not like you have great vision. It's not clear, but you definitely see one of these big, thick cyber figures drop to the ground.
Damn.
Mox, you saw all of this through your scope from where you were. There is no other immediate threat, but I would consider this whole situation still continued dangerously. What is the next thing we want to do here?
Looking over to B, what the next thing we want to do here? Do we want to move forward, get a little bit closer, or just keep picking them off from here? Can't see anyone else right now.
I mean, if we stay up here, you know that the odds are they're going to start going down those tunnels without us. And then we won't be able to do anything unless the things come out. And I don't think that's going to happen if they go in.
All right, let's move forward then.
All right. Pack up, move out.
Unboring from the stone. Takes like 2 minutes to pack up the full fucking Gauss rifle situation.
All right, so you can pack up real quick and start to head down yourself. In the time that is going on, Galen and Drall, you are at the floor of this situation. There's a few dead bodies around you from the initial attack, from this quick firefight that happened. You can still see the multiple other cave entrances, the ones that were not demolished. With the cave-in that happened with all three shots, it's not like it all fell and then just stopped. It has kind of continued this whole time, but not like actively constant in the background. The rocks are starting to settle as everything is falling, but it hasn't just completely settled and stopped. So there's still 9 or 10 different cave openings around you. Immediately where you are standing, There is the remains of that large pile of tech salvage and scrap that has been gone through, not completely taken into the caves. There are a few bodies. There is some debris from the rocket launchers and the cave-ins. Are you doing anything else right now? Are you exploring? Are you just waiting for the rest of the crew? What's going on?
I would just kind of be waiting to see what's happening with the hornet's nest we just kicked. And if Dog's in position and things like that with some overwatch as well. Like, I'm not trying to give his position away or anything, because Dog's got a duffel bag full of explosives and ways to drop them on people just in case. So, you know, if we have to, I'll get out there and do a song and dance to make them come out. And Dog can throw stuff on top of them. But at this point, we're just kind of holding to see what's happening, because backup's on its way.
Okay. Yeah, Dog, you have found a nice little spot where you have what feels like a pretty clear line of sight to where Galen and Drall are. You can see the hillside below you. So imagine like you are standing here at the top of a hill, and as the hill goes down and to your left, it kind of curves a half circle around in front of you. And that's where you can see these different cave entrances. So you're kind of on the corner. 3 or 4 of them have now collapsed into each other from what has happened. So the ones that are kind of immediately below you, you can't really see unless you're looking straight down and kind of leaning over a little bit. But the ones that are curving and arching around and then coming out, those you can see pretty well. You don't see anything immediately moving, no lights, no movement, but you've got a pretty good view of all of them. Mox and B, it has taken a few moments to pack up and get down here, but probably within, again, 5-10 minutes, you and the drones can be down on this floor where Drall and Galen are. In that time, nothing immediately dangerous has happened. You've heard some sounds, but you're not sure if those are just desert animals or the rocks still settling. You haven't seen any bodies rising up to attack you or anyone coming out of the caves, but you can't really look deeply into the caves from where you are to really make a tactical plan yet. So everything's kind of in limbo right now as the group is coming together. As everybody meets up, what would we like to do?
Drall is immediately going to run over and guys. Did you see the dust clouds?
Yeah, from the rockets?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, of course we saw the fucking dust cloud. Blind people saw the fucking dust cloud.
Hold on! That was you, Drall?
Yeah!
Holy crap! High five!
Yeah, fuck it. How'd you guys do? She's like tweaking.
Is this your first time blowing something up?
She's like sweating and she's like, yeah, like that, like that with the big tube thing.
Hey, look at her. Look, she's the newbie. Look, I'll remember that first rush. Yeah, I'll remember that.
Does the sweating wear off?
No.
Not really.
Cool.
Just permanently a thing, really. But now you're a budding little boom bug. Look at you. This is gonna be fun. We got so many things to go boom.
My hands won't stop vibrating.
Mox puts an arm around B.
And if you're lucky, you'll end up like us.
Moderately sane.
Yeah, that's future my problem. Yeah, she gets a high five to Mox too.
as you are all sitting there talking, you hear a little bit of movement that sounds a little bit different than this background noise you've been hearing. And you turn, and in one of the caves that has been a former cave that has been caved in, one of the rocks that has settled is now falling and being pushed, and you see like an arm pushing that rock out. So someone that was in the cave is trying to move a rock out of the way to possibly exit the cave. So you all see this almost immediately.
Guys, we need to move.
Picks up a grenade from her pocket.
Oh, hold on, Boombug. You can't do that so close to us. You'll explode us too. Do not pull that pin.
Okay.
We need to move back if we're gonna use more explosives, or we can use the gas gun or something, but we need to do it quick if they're starting to push out.
I got a plasma pistol. Should I use that instead?
Will it work? Also, if they're breaking through this entrance, do you think they're breaking through the other ones too?
Shit. What do we do?
Dog, you also saw this up on the ridge as well.
Yeah. Dogs, how far away is this from me?
Within throwing distance.
That's what I needed to know. All right. So Dog's gonna, and start pulling out a stick of dynamite, rustling around, of course, in the duffel bag, trying to find a cylinder amongst a bunch of orbs. Lighting. And then, I guess Dog's just gonna call out, "Y'all move!"
Third.
All right, give me an attack roll.
All right, so what are we gonna do for an attack roll for a dynamite stick throw?
Yeah, it'd be a thrown weapon, so agility.
Lovely. Why did I pick thrown weapons when I have bad agility? It's anesthetic. It's fine.
This is just why you're such a good role player and performer, Pete, because you commit to the story and you don't let the stats get in the way of the story.
It's fine. I mean, I think I'm good at a lot of things and realize that I'm not. But I will swear that. Yeah. That's an 11.
Okay. All right, so you chuck this thing out, and you see it sailing through the air. Follow the little burning ember, and it falls a little bit short. It hits one of the upper caves and kind of clatters down, bounce, and then explodes.
You're Kobe.
Can you give me a damage roll for that explosion?
I can. It's a 60-foot radius, 7 D10s.
That's a lot of D10s.
Yeah, give me just a...
Who designed this game with all these numbers?
Who did this?
Who did that?
Who made explosions so bad?
Or fun.
Oh, hold on.
Math.
Yep. 24 plus 7, 31.
Okay, so there's this moment where the four of you that are together, you saw this movement, you were backing up. Suddenly you hear over comms from Dog, you realize what he has done. You hear a little bit of a clatter, and then again a booming explosion rocks this part of the desert, and one of the upper caves collapses in on yourself, and a cascade of rocks and dirt falls down over some of these lower caves. all of you feel the impact of that explosion as the pressure wave kind of rolls across you. You're pelted with gravel and rocks. None of you are hurt or within the blast radius, but it's not comfortable. A big explosion just went off, and you're relatively close to it. Your ears are ringing. It echoes in this not cavern, but it echoes in kind of this hill valley situation that you're in between these rock walls.
As my head clears slightly, just calms to Dog. You good, babe?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Y'all safe?
Yep. Yep. All good here.
Hell yeah.
So the dust once again settles. It's probably silent, but it's kind of hard to hear. You don't see any other movement immediately.
We're eventually gonna have to go in, aren't we?
Probably, yes, unfortunately. Oh.
No, we shouldn't. We should just wait. Wait for them to come out.
Well, I mean, how many of them are there in there? We're just gonna stand out here and give them a what for? Like, I don't understand.
Rocket launcher.
We're gonna run out of rockets eventually.
No. Wait. And she suddenly looks very serious. What if we do run out of rockets?
Yeah, right. That's sort of the problem. We need to keep a few of those. And between the duffel bag that just fell on top of us, hopefully there's going to be some things in there too.
We have C4 and some nanothermite grenades and probably a couple of other explosives that we could probably divvy up. And I know for a fact we probably have more explosives in the Windy Bagel if we really need them. And I have a grenade launcher too. If we really want to have some fun, we could bounce those down the tunnel walls. But the question is, what is down in there?
May I suggest that we do proceed, knowing that we have rocket launchers and grenade launchers and fucking awesome rifles. But maybe we should exhibit a modicum of caution or intellectual interest in what is going on outside of making it go boom. I know, I can't believe I just said that either. But
well, if they've made traps to get out of the facility, I can only imagine what they have set in there. So yes, some sort of caution to proceed would be great. Otherwise, we might be the ones going boom at their expense.
We do have our drones. We can send them in ahead of us.
I don't dislike that idea. There are a lot of tunnels though, so we should probably just pick one and go.
hey, Argoth, how do you feel about that idea?
I'm not thrilled about it. But, do what I gotta do.
Look, I appreciate your willingness to work with... No, this was not...
That's the voice you chose? That's so cool.
Can we talk about it later?
Okay.
Thank you very much, Argoth. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
We're working on it. I'm going to take it back after this.
Oh, but I like it. It has a certain, one of those je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais what?
Yeah.
What does Jenny do?
Well,
Who the fuck is Jenny?
She makes ice cream. Real good ice cream.
We're not talking about Jenny.
We're getting ice cream?
There's no ice cream.
Oh, you don't do mean.
Hold on. Is that Jenny on the block? Listen. What we could also do if they're a weird tech cult is see what happens when we hit them with EMPs.
maybe roll some EMP grenades down the tunnels before we send the drones in?
It wouldn't hurt.
I mean, they've both got active camo. I'm sure that they can get us a basic layout and information, and then we can lob in the grenades so we know where they're going.
Well, yeah, but if we lob in the grenades after the drones, then
then they go scout, then they come back. With what I was suggesting.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, sorry, cross wires. I'm just like.
Oh, that's on me. I'm sure I probably didn't say it. No.
Hey, Argos.
Huh.
Do you like spaghetti?
I'm not opposed to the idea.
Fantastic. How do you feel about helping Umbra learn the ropes and scouting?
What does that have to do with spaghetti?
I'll give you a plate of spaghetti if you do it.
Oh. Okay. I can do that.
It's Ferdy's recipe.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Also, Argos, could you, just on your own time, look up the Cheech and Chong movie, that's Chong, and listen to the Chong one, and see if, maybe we can work some way towards that.
Oh, I'll do some practicing, but in these next 2 weeks. See what happens.
That was totally in character, not directed at Caleb. That was entirely Mox to Argos.
I'll do what
I love
can do.
this. That was Mox, not me.
Wow, Ethan.
Knocking on the sky god. Come on, man.
Got some time to practice, so I'll do what I can do.
Can you do a lap for us?
I hope it gets even less. I hope it moves even farther away from Tommy Chong.
I'll see what I can find on the internet. I got a good connection right now.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so we are sending the drones into the caves, yes?
Yes.
Very good. Let's have a couple perception checks and a couple stealth checks for each drone.
Oh, nat 1.
Oh, no.
Wah, wah, wah.
It's instant karma. Ethan.
I was about to say, might need a new voice because it's a new AI next week.
I don't have to practice any voices.
Yes. Do it. Fucking do it.
You said perception and
Yes.
stealth?
Please.
Okay. All right. So,
It was a nat 1 on the perception and 22 on the stealth.
Okay.
Umbra got an 18 on the stealth
Okay.
and a 20 on the perception.
A dirty 20 or a nat 20?
It was a dirty 20.
That's okay. So here's what's going to happen. Actually, let me ask you one more question first. Do we want to send them together down one of the caves, or do we want to send one to two different caves, each one solo?
That's a good question.
Personally, they're already saving us time. I think it's probably better if they stick together, use their individual skills as a team.
Yeah, they have different build out. It would be not a bad thing.
We only have 2. Can't afford for anything to happen to one of them.
I mean, we can if we go back to the DJs. But
Okay, I mean, true. If we can just infinitely go back and repair, then yeah, we can definitely fucking do that.
how does Argos feel about that?
I could take it or leave it. I like working by myself, but I'm a pretty good team player.
And here I thought you loved Umbra. Umbra loves you. Look at that little tail wag right there.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little overstimulating. Downtime's nice.
Noted from the dog that often plays music out of his mouth.
I mean, I'm told
Okay.
to. It's not my choice.
Fair.
Wait a minute.
Fair.
You think?
You're the boss. I do what I'm told. You know.
But I thought you were my puppy. My.
Hey,
Never mind. Yeah. So and Mark's just kind of like
maybe we should focus on the there's stuff going on. We can talk about that later.
You really wanted AI in Argos. You did this to yourself.
This should be a parable.
We can learn something from all this, can't we? Can't we?
All right, so they're going to go together?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so the two of them vanish into the darkness, and you are getting a feedback of what they are seeing to your glows. So you see them navigating through one of these tunnels, and it's pretty easy going. It's not like someone carved it out and made a clear path, but it's easy enough to move through, especially for the drones that are moving as quadrupeds instead of bipeds. So they're able to pick their way down without any problem whatsoever. There are a couple times where the path branches, and you kind of see the drones conversing with each other and trying to figure out what to do. And you see through what is displayed on your glows that they are kind of scanning for tracks for heat signatures, and very quickly this becomes a maze that they are moving through. And you can see that a couple times they make a couple bad turns and they have to backtrack, but it does seem that eventually they are following a path that they seem pretty confident that they are moving in the right direction. And this is probably over 15, 20 minutes that this is all happening. Looking through their video feed, eventually you see light ahead of them. There were no lights in the tunnels. There was no illumination, man-made or natural. But you see ahead of them a glow at the end of the tunnel that they are moving through. And they slow down, they kind of stick to the walls and start to move a little bit more slowly. Argos takes the lead and moves a little bit ahead. Umbra is kind of behind and on the other side of the cave wall, other side of the tunnel wall. So Argos sees this first. The tunnel opens up into a very large cavern. And Argos kind of sticks his head out of the cave, out of the tunnel, and is looking around. There's no one in the immediate vicinity. So he moves forward a little bit more, kind of nosing his way out, trying to find a good spot to look at what is happening. And you start hearing a little bit of audio coming through as well. And it's very chaotic audio. It's very unclear. Some of it sounds like machinery. Some of it sounds like people shouting instructions back and forth to each other. Some of it sounds like stuff being dragged and moved. So it's very unclear what you're hearing. He noses forward a little bit more, and it becomes clear that he is standing on kind of like an upper ledge of this cave. He looks up, and you can see the cave, the cavern ceiling above you. He looks down, and you can see that this is where all the noise and chaos is coming from. It's hard to count, but a lot of bodies moving around, a lot of people doing things. At this point, the noise is more clear, but it is still very chaotic and scrambled, just a cacophony of everything happening all at once without really any order. Umbra has come up beside him, and they kind of spread out a little bit, again checking to see if anyone's immediately near them or anyone has seen them. No one is up here where this tunnel has emptied, so they're able to really get a good vantage point on what is happening. And with both of them there, you're able to kind of compare the two images and filter them down and really see what's going on. And all of the people are part of this cyber cult, clearly. They're all moving and shouting to each other and communicating. They're all doing some sort of work. They're all moving bits and pieces, big blocks of tech scrap everywhere. You see a bunch more piles, just like the pile you saw emptied from the truck earlier, all over the place. So you're kind of guessing they brought this stuff in, they dumped it, and now they're doing something else with it. Your eyes are drawn to the center of the cavern, kind of what all these people are swirling around, working around. It's kind of hard to see what it is. It's not a big structure. It's not high off the ground, but it's wide. And with all of these people working on it, climbing on it, installing things, you can't really get a shape of what it is. But then some of the people that are working in one particular area kind of move off. It's like they finished a job and are moving to a different task. So you're able to see a little bit more clearly what they were working on. And as they clear away, you see the shape of a rover. But this is so much larger than a person. It is the biggest rover you've ever seen, and it is seemingly embedded in the rock, because what you are looking at is think of a person kind of reclining almost. Like it's almost like their head is kind of perched up on their arm and they're laying on the ground, the kind of picnic blanket kind of thing. But it's kind of like the body of this rover is in the rock. It's caught in the rock. You can see its head, you can see the part of its torso, you can see one of its arms kind of pinned up in the air, the other one kind of stretching out in front of it. And you can see that all of these cult members have been working to excavate and rebuild this rover.
This is some Shadows level Mars expedition B5 bullshit. Just nuke it from orbit. Let's go.
Galen, it almost takes you a second to like agree with your brain about what this is, because you have the knowledge from working in the plexes. Any of you that have that background and kind of general knowledge can get there eventually, but Galen, you get there first. The only thing you've ever heard of being this big was a Kaiju class rover.
But
Ready to use the rocket launcher.
And that's where we'll end it.
we're gonna need more rockets.
Oh no!
So that was episode 22, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. We've got 2 more episodes to go. Thank you all for being in the chat. Thank you for sticking with us through our shenanigans. Future viewers on the YouTubes and the podcasts, I hope you enjoy this. We've had a lot of fun. It is time for good nights and goodbyes. Let's hear from our cast, who they are, where they are, what they're doing, where they can be found, starting with Mallo.
You can follow me everywhere and all the things that I am doing, both for Identico and other things, at the Mallo Man, where you will find some new stuff that we are getting ready for season 2 of Neon Trails and stuff like that will be coming out soon, as well as some stuff that we did for some of our friends who are here in the chat. We just released recently, and you will be seeing coming coming Tuesday, I believe. So I'll let them talk about their escapades and stuff like that, but very fun work that we've been doing, so check it out, and I'll see you in the interwebs.
Wild.
Yes, hello, I am Wildling011. I'm so happy you guys were here with us tonight and in the future. Hello, future people! Hope it's good up there. Yeah, you can find me places on the internet. I do stuff. I've been commenting on a lot of people's tweets because likes are hidden now, so that's really fun. And if you find me out in the wilderness, you might find me polishing something bronze or stone this summer. And the Fry Museum just opened up 2 new installations that I helped do. So if you're around in the area up here, come check it out. You might find some of my very own tailor-made paint splatters. Be good to yourselves.
Pete?
Hi. I do some really cool stuff that you probably want to see. And if you want to see these projects, follow me at the Mallo Man on everything. Now listen here. Another announcement. I'm a little too close. Another announcement. You be nice to yourself, okay? I'm brandishing some channel locks at you, so you know I'm serious. Be nice to yourself. Kiss your own forehead. Drink some water. Get enough sleep. And you're doing okay. Not as bad as you think. All right. Bye. Mwah. Yeah, that's electrician approved. Ain't going nowhere.
Lauren.
I desperately needed that. Thanks. I'm places. I'm on Thousand Faces. I'm 95% Lauren on Instagram mostly, even though they hate me. Making cosplays, throwing ass, keeping my house together, traveling to conventions, rolling dice and other shenaniganry, and just usually embarrassing the shit out of my husband and anyone who chooses to associate with me. So anyway, follow me online, and also be gentle. Be gentle with this baby. Be gentle.
Hold. I would like to take the microphone back. Hold on 1 second, please. You ain't embarrassing anybody. If somebody's embarrassed, then they need to go and figure themselves out. Thanks, bye.
No accounting for taste.
I will come out there. I will be out there at the end of the month.
And Ethan.
Hi there. We are doing a bunch of TTRPG stuff and convention stuff. We are going to be at SoonerCon in Oklahoma next weekend. We're going to be at EtchiCon in Dallas the weekend after that. We also have TTRPG content on our Twitch, Thousand Faces TTRPG, every other Tuesday that we're not here, and usually every Saturday, but it'll be Sunday this coming
We're workshopping it.
Sunday.
We're workshopping it.
For The Wild Beyond, which will feature a new overlay layout designed by the Mallo Man. And the Tuesday game, The City of the Crimson Tower, features an introduction video and a layout designed by the Mallo Man. So
And
you
special
should,
appearances. Bye.
so you should come over and check that out. Yeah. Thank you for being here, y'all. Take care.
And Ethan, if people want to keep track of all of these magnificent shows that you're doing, what are the best social media handles to follow you on to pay attention to?
Thousand Faces Cosplay and The Buff DM are the best places to follow. Thank you, Caleb.
And if you're reading between the lines here of all these wonderful things that our wonderful Mallo is doing, Mallo also has other social handles that he can be reached upon for these types of marketing projects and help. Mallo, if you want to tell people what that would be.
It's at Runnels and Rourke. But you'll only find us on Threads and Instagram because fuck Twitter.
Yeah, for real.
Threads and Instagram is a pretty fun place to be for the most part.
And I mean, if you're on LinkedIn, you can come check us out there, but who's on LinkedIn? You know,
who's on LinkedIn? And I am on all of the socials at the Caleb G. You can find me right here for all things Identico, here and there for Farm to Fable, and taking up a lot of space in the archives of the RPG Academy. That is it for today. See you next Cyber Time and Cyber Station. We will be here. Thank you all for joining us. Take care of yourself. Be good to yourself. Take your meds. Drink your water. Eat some food. Do something nice for yourself. Go outside if it's not too hot. If it is too hot, stay inside. It's okay. You don't have to go outside. Just relax. It's okay. Stop doom scrolling a little bit. Read a book. Watch a show. Watch a comfort show. I always have Bob's Burgers on because it's a great comfort show. Watch whatever your comfort show is or comfort movie. That's okay. It's okay to watch the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And that's it. Thank you for being here. We love you. Goodbye, and see you next time.
Mwah. Bye, babies.
Neon Trails is Ethan as Mox, Lauren as Drall, Pete as Dog, Wild as Bee, me, Mallo, as Galen, and the Caleb G is our game runner. You can learn more about the game we play on this podcast by going to www.playidentico.com. You can join us live for these sessions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific over on twitch.tv/Identico, and you can watch along with past episodes and see additional content like how to play videos over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Identico. Finally, you can follow along with us on the socials at Identico on Twitter and at Humanoid Games on Threads and Instagram. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next week.